I'm Jooya from Jooya Teaching Resources, and tonight I'm going to show you how to compare two versions of the one song in melody. So I haven't done a comparison yet, but this is something that I know I do a lot with my own students, and I'm pretty sure you would with yours. It's, you know, it's a good skill for kids to have, to actually be able to compare two versions of something, whether it be music or anything in life. You know, we need to be able to compare two different versions of things. So as I said, it's a good skill to have, good skill to do these sorts of things. And I will get started. So I'll share my screen. Come on, up you come. There we go. And we will get started. Alrighty. So again, so this is like another extension of the elements of music. So we will be using, as I said, welcome. I'll explain briefly what the elements of music are. I'll also give a brief explanation of what each one is. And then also we're going to be using the melody mind map. I'll briefly introduce that, but I'll also get you to show, I'll show you a couple of things out of one of my resources, my most popular resources, and just a couple of pages out of it, and what you can do and how this can actually turn into a lesson. And actually we use this as an assignment for our kids in my school. So as I said, yeah, so this is something that can be used for lots of things. So let's get this party started, as they say. So the elements of music, as said, in alphabetical order, are dynamics, form, or I call it structure, harmony, melody, rhythm, texture, timbre, and tonality. And for me, when I use the concepts of music, I bundle tonality, harmony, and melody all together under the concept of pitch. Okay, so that's how I do that. Everything else we say this is the same, except for I don't use the word timbre in the syllabus that I teach from. It's tone color, but it's basically about the performing media and the instruments that are used. Okay, so that's what that is. So dynamics is refers to the loudness or softness of sound. Structure is basically just the order and arrangements of the different parts of a piece of music. Harmony is the structure underneath the melody, the melodic accompaniment, how it's all structured and supports melody. Melody is the series of pitches that makes a tune. Rhythm, I should say, I use the term duration, but it's all about those rhythmic bases. So all the things that, you know, basically how long or short a sound is. Texture is the density of the music in terms of its layers of sound. Timbre refers to the instruments and their unique sound quality. And tonality is the overall sound of the music in regards to the harmony and melody when they're put together, if it makes something that's maybe pleasant sounding or unpleasant sounding in very basic terms. Okay, so that's what that means. But we're looking at melody, and so that's what I'm doing this month. And as I said, we'll just keep going. So melody, as I said, is a series of pitches that forms a tune. It's as simple as that. That's what a melody is. Okay, it can be a lot of pitches, it can be a few pitches. So here's the mind maps that I like to use. Now you can find these mind maps. They don't look exactly like that because I added some color to these ones because I like color. But you can get the a black and white version of these mind maps for free in if you go over to juliajooya.com/free mind maps, or smooshed together. That will take you to a page that will get you, and you'll be able to get your own copy of the mind maps so that you can use that in class with your kids, or if you're doing your own music analysis, because I've had a few people contact me lately saying that's what they're doing. They're using these videos to help them get through a course, which is fantastic to hear. So as I said, but these mind maps, you can go grab yourself one. So the things I look for when I'm talking about melody are melody, ornamentation, range, register, roll, phrasing, and harmony. And so that sort of comes underneath it. I know pitches there as well. And I said, I talked about this on Tuesday night. So in the last video, so you can go back and have a look at this. And these are the different things. And I forgot to change that because harmony is certainly not the same as phrasing. And my mistake there, sorry. Okay, but I want to take you to this resource. So this one, Elements of Music Melody, with the 20 listening analysis worksheets. So I'm just going to take you through, this is listening analysis worksheet 1 and 2, and there's a couple of other pages, but just showing you what you can do with just this page. It can be a whole lesson. It can be a whole discussion. It's, and it regularly is for me, but this is what it is. So this is the resource. Now you can get this as part of the bundle, part of the Elements of Music bundle, and there's lots of great things in there, but this is just the melody one. So the thing we need to look at, and this is why it's I like about this bundle. So you can either differentiate if you've got kids who are at different abilities, or you can choose to have all your class start at this sort of level 1, I'll call it, worksheet listening response 1. And then there's another set of questions that's a little bit harder, and another set of questions that's even harder than that. Okay, so that's what I've actually got in here, and that's what makes this a really good, useful resource. Doesn't matter what piece of music you're using, you can answer these questions, unless it doesn't have a melody. Then you maybe can't use it, but most things have a melody. Okay, so the questions are, what instrument or instruments perform the melody? Is the melody mainly conjunct or disjunct? What is the range of the melody? What is the register of the melody? And is there any use of ornamentation? If so, what type and in what section? Okay, so I'll just show you at the next page, because as I said, there's that page which is level 1. Okay, this is listening response worksheet number 2, and this is just for the comparison. So you've got those other questions that you can just do for a piece of music, or you can choose to use this one and simply do 2 pieces of music, which is what I'm going to show you, and then talk about the similarities and differences. Okay, and again, I'm going to show you how to do that tonight. But this is a really good activity for so many reasons. It depends on how you want to do things. Sometimes I don't necessarily, I don't generally print out these worksheets. Our kids have exercise books, writing books they write into, just a good old, lined page one. And I put their questions on the board, and we display them, and then we use this one to actually, as I said, just display, and then we listen to the music and answer the questions actually on the board. So just give me a minute. Hang on. I've got something not working. Hang on. Sorry about that. It was getting really hot in here, and it's been quite cool today, and now I'm hot. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'll keep moving on and talk about what we're actually going to do. So I know I said in the States this very soon is Thanksgiving. So again, I'm looking at songs that have the word thank you in it. And so I'll good old I'm sure most of you would know the song or the theme song to the Golden Girls, which is Thank You for Being a Friend. Now, the original was by Andrew Gold, and then I found another version by another girl called Alyssa Bonagura. I think that I don't know if I've pronounced her name correctly. I hope I have. But if we use these questions that are over here, simply the answers are, now I wouldn't normally just answer this in like very brief answers. I'm pretty mean. I make the kids write in a sentence, use a capital letter start and all that sort of stuff. I'm make them write in a sentence. It's a good skill. So, but in order, these numbers refer to the questions on the side. So what instrument performs the melody? It's the male vocalist. Is it mainly conjunct or disjunct? Number 2. And it's mainly conjunct in the verse and disjunct in the chorus. What is the range? It's a little over an octave, so medium range. Okay. 4 is what register is it? So this guy sings in upper bass register. And then is there any use of ornamentation? And yes, there is. It's use of Melisma. And it's often on the lyrics at the end of a phrase. If you listen to the song, I said, I will put these links in the description below so you can go and watch. But that is the one. If you type it in, you'll find him anyway. Thank you for being a friend, Andrew Gold. But he uses a lot of his, the ends of phrases, he uses a little bit of Melisma on the lyrics. But he also in the song, the word party in that sort of pre-chorus section, and then also on the word friend in the chorus. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So I said I'm not going to play them because I might get in trouble. Same questions. Obviously, we've got a different person singing. So it's a female vocalist, as said, Alyssa Bonagura. So it's a female vocalist. Question 2, again, it's the same melody. So she does sing it differently, slightly differently, but it's the same melody. So mainly conjunct in the verse and disjunct in the chorus. Again, same sort of range, okay, except for where the other one was low upper bass, this one's low treble, okay, and again, she's using Melisma as well, but it's how she sings it is very different, even though she's using it, and it is on the word friend in the chorus especially, but each time she sings it very, very differently, and it's very different to how he sort of sings it, so which is quite nice. She's obviously put her own spin on it. So again, moving on. So again, I would do this. So I do the listening separately. Normally I do this on the board, and you just give yourself enough space that you can do this, and then again create a table. What are our similarities? what are our differences, and have that conversation. So the similarities between them, that the melody is conjunct and disjunct in conjunct in the verse and disjunct in the chorus for both versions. Another similarity is they both have a medium range, and a similarity is they also both use melisma. The differences, though, are the types of voices singing. We've got one male, one female. The register they're singing in, upper bass, lower treble. Okay, there's a little bit of crossover, but still different. And also, even though they both use melisma, it's different on different lyrics, and it's quite unique to each performer how they're actually doing the melisma. So again, this is just drawing this out. I would ask the kids, I'd make sure that they understand what is the similarity, what's the difference, and why we are talking about those things. Okay, and what's really good about doing this sort of thing, especially if you're doing a performance and you're asking the kids to do some sort of performance, getting them to actually listen to the song that they're trying to perform, because let's face it, most of it's not their own. They're doing a cover version of something. And I encourage the kids to always put their own spin on it. And this is a really good way to do that. So you could a good lead into that conversation, and before a performance is go, okay, we're going to listen to 2 songs. You've got to think about this for your upcoming performance. What are the similarities? What are the differences? How could you do it differently? What could you do to make this different? What could you do to make it your own? Okay, which is a really good quality for a musician to have, is to be able to make things their own. Okay, so now we get into the nitty gritty with me writing. So this is for obviously the similarity. So I'm going to just do similarities first, and then I'm going to do differences. Now it's up to you if you wanted to do, because as I said over here on this page, you could, I would do 2 different little paragraphs. So let's just do that now. So, okay, and we're going to go a melody, because we've got to do our main idea, is a series of pitches that forms a tune. I always do that, sorry. In the 2 versions of, whoops, thank you for being a friend by Andrew Gold and I spelled that wrong, Alyssa on there are a few similarities in the use of melody. Okay, now we would basically use the same sentence, and I will actually copy and paste that sentence and put the word differences in there for their thing. So let me just do that now before I forget and before I get too far along, but I'll fix that up when we come back to it. So I said when we do the differences one. Okay, so we've got that. So we've said what our main idea is. We've introduced the song. We've demonstrated our understanding of what a melody is, but also the main idea is that we're going to be talking about similarities. That's another main idea, because we're actually looking at what are the similarities between the 2 versions. Okay, so let's keep going. So one main similarity between those songs is the use of conjunct and disjunct. Actually, I might rephrase that. Sorry, I don't know where my brain was going. One main similarity between both songs is that they are both sung conjunct in steps. Spelled that wrong, sorry. Conjunct in steps in the, I did that again, sorry, verse, and disjunct in leaps in the chorus. Okay, so we've just said the main thing there, so I'll just respell that. Okay, chorus. The next thing was talking about the range of the melody. Each song has each song actually features, I might do that, a medium range. Each song features the melody. I might say that the melody sung in a medium range, which is a little over, over an octave. Another similar, oh boy, my brain, sorry, is that each vocalist sings using their technique, Melisma, another similarity is that each vocalist sings using the technique of Melisma. I might do that. Okay, Melisma, I'm just going to define that, is the singing of more than one syllable on, sorry, one note, sorry, I should say that, one note on a syllable. Okay, so now when I come to the next one, I'm probably not going to define Melisma again because we've defined it here already. So I've just defined that there. So we've simply just done, now there's not that many similarities, but there are a few. So we've got a melody is a series of pitches that forms a tune. In the two versions of Thank You for Being a Friend by Andrew Gold and Alyssa Banagura, there are a few similarities in the use of melody. One main similarity between both songs is that they are both sung conjunct in steps in the verse and disjunct in leaps in the chorus. Each song features the melody sung in a medium range, which is a little over an octave. Another similarity is that each vocalist sings using the technique of melisma. Melisma is the singing of more than one note on a syllable. So all we've done so far, okay, and we've just about finished this paragraph, is we've done the main musical idea. So main musical idea, we've shown our understanding. We've given some samples. We've given some information about those samples. So the last thing we need to do is put in a connect to concept. So connect to concept or connect to the main idea. So the main idea is similarity. Okay. Having each song with a similar, actually having each version of the song with the same melody makes it easier to, well, the reason we know it's the same song is because it's the same melody, same lyrics, okay? So each version of this, having each version of this song with the same melody makes it, and it makes it easier to identify the song by its melody, okay? Or you could have said something, more along the lines of similarity in two versions of the same song is important because, okay, that's another one you could do. And I've done that wrong. I like it when it tells me I've made a mistake. Okay, it's melody. All right, so we've just done similarity. So let's have a look at differences. Okay, so, and I'm going to do that. So a melody is a series of pitches that we've done that in the two versions of Thank You for Being a Friend by Andrew Gold. Now, there are a few differences. That's what we're doing. Look at that. We might say several differences, something different. I like to try and use different things in it in the use of melody. Now, what did I have made a mistake here. Melody is a series of pitches that forms a tune in the two versions. Versions, that's what I made. Okay, so again, we are going to look at the differences now. One main difference is that the melody is sung by different performers. One is male and the other is female. One is I should say is a male vocalist. The other is a female vocalist. obviously wants me to put a comma in there. Okay. Every other time it tells me not to. Alrighty. Now, this always brings something up interesting when I use those words, female, male in the classroom these days. It never used to, but everybody has identifies in different ways. And so if that's a problem for your students using gender specific terms, you might want to say male sounding vocalist or a female sounding vocalist, okay, or more feminine or masculine. There are other words that we've been using as well. So think about that if that's not sitting well with you, okay. So we've got one main difference is that the melody is sung by different performers. One is sung by a male vocalist and the other is a female vocalist. Now, the next thing we're talking about is the register. The register that each singer performs the melody in is also different. The original by Andrew Gold is sung at a, it should be upper bass register. I should say sung in an upper bass register, while the other version is sung, and there goes a train, sung in a low treble register. Now, you could go on to say what register means. Register is the placement of the voice or the placement of the instrument in treble or bass. You could do that as well. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is talk about the use of melisma. Now, even though it was a similarity, it's also a difference. Okay, and it's good for kids to see that and also hear that. So and I'm going to say that even though both singers use the vocal technique of melisma, each singer uses it on different lyrics. Okay, the original version often has melisma sung at the end of phrases, but also on the lyrics. And what was it? I had it up here, lyrics, party and friend. Oh, that's a weird word. So on the lyrics, party, oh my goodness, my typing. Party and friend. On the lyrics, party, I'll say when it is, in the pre-chorus, and friend in the chorus, or on the hook line, if you want to say that as well. Okay, the version by or version 2, the version 2, it doesn't matter what you're saying. Gura, I should say in the version, I might do that, that might sound better. In the version sung by Alyssa Banagura, she sings melisma on the lyrics as well, but sings it very differently, uniquely compared to the original. Okay, so we've just done a whole heap of stuff there, alrighty. So the next thing is then, that's our main differences, okay. The next thing is obviously then to think about what is our connector concept, okay. So having differences in two versions of the same song is important. Now, I like to use that, you know, why is it important? Because it just forces the kids to actually think, well, why is it important? And you don't want to use it all the time, like you saw in the previous one, similarities. I didn't say it there, but it's just a good, if kids are struggling, it's a good way to just bring them back. Okay, why is it important? Why is it important? Why is it important? Okay, so having differences in two versions of the same song is important because it makes each song sound unique and different. Oh boy, sorry. I should say having differences in melody for the two versions of the same song is important because it makes each song sound unique and different. That would actually do. Alrighty, so you could see that the differences is a little bit longer than our similarities. That's okay. So the important thing is, though, again, is the whole idea that I've actually used done main idea, understanding, sample, information, connect to concept, or connect to element, or our main idea, okay, in both of these actual paragraphs. So don't you hate it when it does that? Alrighty, so if I go and duplicate that slide, I'm just going to duplicate this slide. So I knew this was going to be a long one tonight. So in this one, so a melody, that's our main idea, okay? And I'll come back because there's going to be a couple of main ideas here, is a series of pitches that forms a tune. Now that's our understanding, okay? But also our other main ideas, that's why that's going to be in orange. Our other main idea, I'll make that a little bit bigger actually. And do that. Okay, our other main idea is that we're talking about similarities. So I'm going to make that pink as well, okay? Because that is certainly a main idea. That's the main thing we're talking about. Yes, we are talking about melody, but we are also talking about similarities in this paragraph. So one main similarity. So this is that both songs sung. Okay, so that is our sample. Okay, our sample. And if each time I explain it, that means, and you know, it's sung, sorry, it's conjunct in steps in the verse. So that's our what do you call it? Our in-depth information, which is going to be in red. Okay, and then it says it's disjunct in leaps. Okay, disjunct. Sorry, that is another specific sample. And then in leaps in the chorus. So again, that is just saying when that is all happening. Okay, because you could just say, oh yeah, it's conjunct and disjunct. Yeah, but when, where, how? Like, give me some more information. So the next bit, each song features the melody sung in a medium range. Okay, so that is again another sample. So we'll make that green. And the next part, which is a little over an octave, is explaining what that range is. Okay. And we could have actually even explained it even further what the range of something is. Another similarity is that each vocalist sings using the technique of Melisma. So again, another sample. Okay, so we'll make that green. And then the next bit is all of this is the in-depth information. And then the last bit there, having each version of the song, blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't say it like that, but it is our connect to concept. Okay, so there you can see that's how the paragraph is broken up. We've got main idea, understanding, main idea, because we had to bring it back in. Then we've got sample, in-depth information, sample, in-depth information, sample, information, sample, information, and then connect to concept. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of information in there using that music framework, main idea, understanding, samples, in-depth information, and connect to concept or connect to the main idea. All right, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger without it going over the page. Oh, maybe. All right. Yep, that's a bit better. It just makes it a bit easier to see. Okay, and let's just make that. All right, so I'll flick through this one to show you where it all sits in with this one for using the music framework. So again, a melody, that's our main idea. All right, so that's in pink. It's a series of pitches that forms a tune. That is, again, our understanding. So that's in orange. okay? And then in the two versions of that, again, is our main idea. We are talking about differences here. So we've defined what melody is and that. And look, honestly, if this was going to be a bigger part, like if these were going to be put together, I probably wouldn't have defined, well, I wouldn't define melody second time. Once you've defined it once, you don't have to do it again. But if you're doing these paragraphs in isolation, then definitely you want to do this. Okay, so one main difference is that the melody is sung by the performers, okay, by different performers. So that is our sample. And then this information here is the in-depth information, the fact that we're talking about that there's one male, one female vocalist singing the melody. The register that each singer performs the melody is also different. Again, another sample. And the next part, the original by blah, 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 okay, is then it explains again by each what each one is doing, and that is our in-depth information in red. So the original by Andrew Gold is sung in an upper bass register, while the other version is sung in a low treble register. The next bit, even though both singers use the vocal technique of Melisma, each singer uses it on different lyrics. So that is the good sample. It's telling us a specific sample. It's giving us specific information. But this next bit is all the different the ways it's explaining why, okay, and how that's actually happening, why that technique, even though it is a similarity, it's also a difference, okay. And then the last bit there is our connect to concept or connect to main idea, which is why is it important. It's as simple as that. So again, in this paragraph, you can also see we've got main idea, understanding, a little bit more of a main idea. Then we've got sample, in-depth information, sample, in-depth information, sample, in-depth information. Keep going. It's quite long. And then why is this important? Why does this show, or how does this information demonstrate the differences? Okay, so I know it's a long one tonight. I appreciate you hanging in there with me today, but I'll just keep going and we're nearly finished. So look, if you are looking for more resources about this, as I said, this particular unit or this particular resource, you can see this is just one song. Like that would take a whole lesson or maybe 2 lessons, and it could be part of an assessment. How useful is this resource? Honestly, it's amazing. I use it all the time, have been doing it for years. So if you would like to know more about it though, or would like to go find it, simply type in Jooya Teaching Resources over in Teachers Pay Teachers and go to the Elements of Music, and you'll find the bundle there. It's a resource that you'll be using for years and years and years to come. If you'd like a free copy of my Elements of Music mind maps, which I showed you earlier in this training, then use the link there, juliajooya.com/free mind maps, all smooshed together, okay, and you'll be able to get your freebie. So you just have to put in some information for me, and you'll get a lovely email with all that information there for you. Or if you'd like to find out more information about melody in music, go and have a look at it on my blog. I explain all those terms and everything about melody, all in a lot of detail over there on my blog. And again, if you go to juliajooya.com, and if you go to Elements of Music, and then under Elements of Music, you'll find all the different elements, and you simply click there and it'll take you to the blog post. Not only is there a blog post, but there's also a video bit like this one, showing you all those things about melody, and explaining all the terms there as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm so sorry that I had to do this over 2 nights this week and missed last week, but that is life. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Alrighty, so again, I'll say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you coming. If you find this useful, please make sure, drop something in the comments. I'd love to know. As I said, I'm just going to keep doing these because this is something I do all the time, and I'm hoping it's being useful for some people. I know there's some students that are using these videos. So this, because I'm breaking it down so in depth for people, they're finding it very helpful. So if you've got students that need the information, send them over to pop over and grab the information and watch the demo as well. I actually will be using this exact video myself in with one of my Year 7 classes next week. They don't know it yet. They don't know that we're going to be doing this, but I thought I'm going to challenge them a little bit because I think they could cope with it, and it'd be just really good to see what they could come up with. But again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Julia from Jooya Teaching Resources. Have a good night. Bye.